so in honor
regularly
of that,
employs
I'm
sarcasm
going to
and irony,
read my most vulnerable poem,
as a means of deflection,
which is about my
and
ego,
of saving myself from the fear of being vulnerable.
and it's disgusting.
I thought that was
And I wrote it
beautiful.
the day after I
And
first
the point
performed
of
here
here
because
tonight, and you
standing
said
up on
that
the
in your
stage made
opener,
me realize just how narcissistic I am and just how gluttonous my ambition is and how truly devastated I am when everyone isn't completely obsessed with me, which means that I'm completely devastated all of the time. And so this is called What I Want From You. A list of demands from me, a total stranger. What I want from you is simple. It is simply everything. I want your breath, sucked in and held right here in the palm of my hand, like water gasping down a drain. I can be that for your gurgle, a drain. I want the spin of your dizziness, slick sweat of your nausea as you rise ceiling bound. I want your retina stars. I'd like to sew them on my skin so that it might sparkle. Sprinkle their fireworks on my cereal like sugar. I'd like the fizz of it. Give me the snap, crackle, pop of your concentration, your captivation, of heady light deoxygenation. Give me your air. Please, sir, may I have your phone? Bleeping into the obsolete, unchecked, unwanted, its drone floundering to useless, because while I am speaking, you've forgotten that reels are keening in a cosmos waiting for your thumb. I want your heart, bloody and tumescent. I want its quick step, its hastening ascent, its surge and stir to arousal. I want to beat, beat, beat every other thing that ever made you feel something, and then, once I have the pant and burst and gush of your anticipation, I want the rhythm of your stillness, the thud of rest, slow and steady as the beating drum. I want you unencumbered, uninhibited. I want your shoes kicked at the door, jacket discarded on a chair, secrets whispered on a threadbare couch, because here is the safety you were looking for, the exhale you've been holding, the flatulence you've been stifling. Here is security. A cocoon to surrender to, a place to burp your insecurities and then smile at me conspiratorially, say, wow, I've never done that before. I want your vulnerability, you see, your fetal curl into the soft mattress of my words. I want your homecoming. With every unfurling sentence, a return to some nostalgic past, or perhaps just safe passage to a hopeful future. I'd like your laughter, too. I want thunderous guffaws you didn't know yourself capable of, cackles that embarrass, smothered in cupped hands. I want cheeks aching with hilarity, teeth bared in wheezing glee. I want abs, excavated, resurrected, convulsed in the effort. Give me the whimper, high-pitched and wavering that only comes after a laugh so long it's medically classified as a fit. Then, I want your stomach, punched with recognition when foaming from my mouth comes that feeling you've always had but never knew how to articulate. That experience you thought made you weird, rendered normal in my retelling. I want the torrents of that shameful part, the deluge of the hidden, the scars of those parts you thought made you ugly, drawn out like a sting, swept away by the tide, except the tide is me and this moment we're sharing where you're all being drawn in against your will, or perhaps drawn out, unspooled into nakedness. And then I want you touched. I want your bosom, clutched by ringed fingers. I want eyes beseeching, head shaking in a pendulum swing of feeling, that universal symbol that says, yes, gosh, I am moved, and must demonstrate as much with this gesture that simultaneously symbolizes disbelief. Can you believe this is the world we live in? And knowing this is precisely the kind of world we live in, how well she expresses it. I want lashes flickering, lips trembling, hands climbing the cliffs of cheeks and finding waterfalls. I want unmoorings, flash floodings, dams broken and running away, loose from the banks of preservation. I want the kind of tears that stain the skin, erode the voice to a shaken, crumbling whisper that racks the body. I want your open mouth, slack and gagging, then ringing with venerations. I want every adjective you've ever read in an Enid Blyton book, every expletive you've ever heard in a rap song. I want them ricocheting from a tongue that groping finds ways to sling me into every conversation, resurrects me in every anecdote, turns me into a poltergeist incorrigible, born to haunt the plot lines of your best narrations. I want to be your reference point, your conclusion. I want to be the name you shoehorn into places it doesn't belong. The name you fight to stifle anytime someone mentions a song, a movie, a food group they like, and you wonder if it's too tangential to mention the time I said potato salad was unequivocally the best of all the summer salads. I want it to be hard not to vomit me into being every 15 seconds, to yawn me into some hovering specter beside you. I really don't think that's a lot, but if it is, I'd be happy with just your lips. Kissing the remembering of me with superlatives, multi-syllable symphonies of wonder gifted upon me like flowers, lavished upon me like palms so that I might hang them from my wall. Pin them in pithy sentences and notebooks I will never reread. Tell my dad when drunk and then feel mortified that, even after all this time, his approval is still the one absolutely essential thing. I want your pupils black and unblinking as granite. I want palms shaking with their thundered clap, vibrating with the violence of your approval as you are moved to everything. I want your neck sore with craning, hair standing on end and hoping there never is an end to this. Applause you cannot help but give. Applause I cannot help but seek. This ovation for an oration that has never been seen before can never be replicated again. That is the shit I dream of when sitting alone. Planning the perfect thing to say to a stranger charged with making me a something, a momentary everything. And I'm not sure if this comes from an innate too muchness, or rather a sense of not enoughness. All I know is there is no respite in this quest for your undiluted attention, your unconditional adoration, your eternal consolidation of me, of this moment, of this vacuumed prayer from one non-existent God to another. Thank you. Thank you.